Hello, and welcome back to my studio. For today's studio session, I'm exploring an intuitive practice using watercolors. The intention for this piece is not to create an image, but an abstract flow that will be guided by my gut feelings. I have no desired outcome. I'm not using a reference image or anything to kind of guide any of the work that I am doing here. I actually started this piece by scribbling, literally scribbling on a piece of student grade watercolor paper. It's nothing special. I don't have to be too intentional about it. I'm just following my instinct and my intuition and letting it flow however I want it to come out. The only intention for this piece is to find the joy that you feel when you're a child and you scribble in your coloring book or on the walls of the house and you get in trouble. And just finding that joy of just mark making and doing something just because you can. You don't have any expectation of it or need there to be perfection in the piece. You're just doing it simply because you need to create something. I've talked about my heart attack in previous episodes and how it's really changed my point of view since I've been back and out of the hospital. I am still sort of doing this fractured image of where everything is broken into pieces. I've been thinking about it a lot as I continue to work on it and why that is happening. And I think it's just the chaos of life breaks down into a kaleidoscope of these pieces, and while it feels tremendously overwhelming while it's happening, it's making this beautiful image of a life pieced together. And that's what I feel is being represented in these fractured images that I'm creating now, whether they are like this piece, very abstract and just coloring in a scribbled template that I've laid down on a piece of plain paper, or if it's an image that I am overlaying that chaotic scribble over and then coloring in and filling in the pieces, and you are realizing the image. This is definitely different in the aspect that it's very abstract and I'm just allowing myself to be childlike and color and play. It's a very freeing way to find a form of expression that has the beauty in it that lies beyond the realism of what we usually perceive. The chaos in this piece presents an opportunity to escape those boundaries. When you allow a little bit of madness into structure, a new vision tends to appear, and it may or may not make sense, and it doesn't even have to make sense, but it allows you to formulate your own new perception of what you are visualizing. This form seems to present and allow me to express a life beyond my normal perception, and I believe that is why I have dived into this form, because of the experiences I recently have. This work is also providing me with a really enjoyable way to relax. Coloring in is just automatically relaxing. It's allowing me a bit of escape from the everyday things that can be overwhelming. The constant thinking about what happened, that's not very fun, to say the least. And it's charging my intuition It is allowing a flow to come through me and allowing a language to speak itself. I don't necessarily understand it, but it's there, and it's tangible, and it's coming out on paper. Nothing has to make sense. Your art doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be perfect, and this is a great practice to allow that. Of course, this is not something that's going to be hanging on a gallery wall or in a museum or anything. It's just a part of the structure of what lies underneath the other artwork that you do intend for it to be sold to customers. But this is personal work. This is what gets to the bigger pieces. It's processing. It's processing everyday life, the trauma, the joy, the everyday, the warm cup of coffee, anything. Anything could be inspiration. And that's where just taking this childish, scribbled, colored in page, the beauty and simplicity of it, it provides a form of expression that has no expectation of preciousness. You just allow it to be. The value of it doesn't lie in the end result, but in the actual creation, in the joy of doing it, in the colors that you're choosing, of the freedom of it not being anything but for you. One of my favorite sayings is let go or be dragged. And in this way of practicing art, that kind of envelopes this concept. You're starting with a scribble and you're embracing the chaos, and don't let yourself be dragged down, buried in expectation of the result. Just keep playing with it and exploring to see where it takes you. Well, I appreciate you sticking around. If you would like to see more of my content, please hit the subscribe button to follow my artistic path of where this journey is leading me. And if you'd like to view more of my work, check out my website at anuskadonna.square.site. Thank you.